Yeah!
Bold prediction number 1.
What is bold prediction number 1?
That the Buffalo Bills will make the playoffs this year.
I'm not going to hate on that prediction.
I don't hate on the bold prediction either, but at the same time, you know, the only reason why I won't sit here and say, oh, there's no way this isn't going to happen, is because every year since, 96?
5 in, 5 out.
Yeah, 5 in, 5 out. Every year since 1996, somewhere in that window, I could be off by a year or two. Either way, 5 in, 5 out every year. So that's the reason why I can sit here and say, well, I can believe it. But then again, I sit here and I think of the AFC, and I'm like, all right, well, you got to figure the Patriots are going to win the AFC East. You're just going to assume that. That's sort of natural. Then you've got the Steelers, Ravens, and Bengals all competing for the AFC North. So let's go on a limb and say the Ravens win the AFC North. Then you got the AFC West with 4 teams last year. All 4 went 8-8. All 4 teams, in my opinion, did enough to get a little bit better. The Broncos upgrade to Peyton Manning instead of Tim Tebow.
That's downgrading. It's downgrade. How's that an upgrade?
Well, if you're going based on last year, I mean, that's fair enough. If we're going based on last year's stats.
I'm going to laugh my ass off when Peyton Manning can't bring the Denver Broncos to the playoffs. I'm going to laugh.
We're actually going to get into that bold. We're going to actually get into that bold prediction in a couple minutes, actually. That's one of the bold predictions. But yeah, you know, where am I? The AFC West now, West. Okay? So Chargers, you got to expect them to have a better year, right? I mean,
I don't.
You don't?
They lost Vinny Jackson. You lost your offense. They're expecting big things now from Ryan Matthews, but I don't think it's going to happen.
They've been expecting big things from him for a while,
for 3 years
and he's just
now.
disappointed.
Exactly.
The day they drafted him and said he's our LT replacement, people were like, I don't know about that. Now people are like, yeah, see, we told you, dude. That was not a smart move. Well, I'm not saying LT keeping him was the right move. I'm just saying drafting that guy to be your replacement for LaDainian Tomlinson didn't really work out for you very well. So, you know, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to do my little tweeter thing. Did you know what to call a hater on Twitter?
A twaiter?
Twaters. How cheesy of a comment. I heard that in a show I was watching. All the twaters out there. We have no twaters, but...
Yeah, we do.
Well, yeah, but he was in the chat room. He wasn't tweeting hate. That'd be funny if he was, though, because that'd be more publicity. We love haters. That was so much fun that day picking on him. Anyway, so, yeah, you know, you got the Chargers. So Joey doesn't think the Chargers are going to be better.
Nah, I think they're going to be worse.
I see them right at 8-8 again.
I think they're going to be worse.
I think the Chiefs should be better.
I agree with that.
They add Peyton Hillis, Romeo Crennel at head coach for the whole season. I love Romeo. I think Romeo Crennel is a really good head coach.
Health will be a great thing for them. If you get Eric Berry, Jamal Charles, if they stay healthy, they're in 8-8 without them.
Yeah, you got Tamba Ali, one of the premier pass rushers in the league. I like Kansas City. And then let's not forget Dwayne Bowe and Jonathan Baldwin, 2 freak athletes that just need to become better wide receivers, like perfect their craft kind of guys. So I like Kansas City. I could see them possibly pulling off the division. You got the Raiders, full year with Carson Palmer. I don't know what that means. Can Darren McFadden stay healthy?
That's going to be the key thing right there. If McFadden can stay healthy, they could be
some trouble.
10-6, 11-5.
They got a lot of good, fast, speedy wide receivers. Yeah, not saying good wide receivers. A whole bunch of guys that can run really, really fast.
Look out for Denarius Moore and Darius Hayward-Bay. Darius Hayward-Bay.
And then you got who's the team I'm forgetting, and then the Denver Broncos with Peyton Manning, and
I think they're gonna have a step back this year.
Well, you know, one of the other bold predictions that this guy helped make was the fact that, you know, how can people expect Peyton Manning to take a full year off, go to a completely different team, learn a different offense, work with different receivers, a different offensive line, and still be the same Peyton Manning?
Do you think it's a different offense? I assume they brought Peyton Manning there because they're saying, Peyton, run your offense.
You know what? I heard that too. I mean, heard that. That's pretty much what they're doing.
He's been doing it for so long. If he's so great at what he does, let him just do what he does.
Do what he does?
Do what he does.
I like that, actually. That's a good way to say it. I agree with you. I think they're going to not give him full control. John Fox is a run-first guy.
Yes, he is.
So John Fox is going to do ball control, whether Peyton Manning likes it or not.
There will be more running as well in a Peyton Manning offense because he was hurt.
Yeah. And you know what? Also, that I think the run game will thrive more based on the fact that teams aren't going to be able to. I mean, let's be honest. Teams were literally putting 9 guys
in the box. Between Tebow and McGahee, yeah, you had to.
9 in the box. So now you're going to get 6, 7-man fronts and be able to have an opportunity to run against them. Play actions, draws. I mean, the offense is going to be more open than it was last year. But does that mean it's going to be better, worse? I mean, I have a hard time thinking this team does worse than it did with Tim Tebow at quarterback. That's the only reason why I feel like they'll make the playoffs. So that's where things start getting interesting is, and then we still got the AFC South, which is pretty much Houston, maybe Tennessee, and then, I mean, let's be honest, no offense, but forget Jacksonville and forget the Colts for this year. I'm sorry, I just don't see them doing anything.
Wait a minute, why not the Colts? You never know.
Dude,
you never know. Andrew Luck.
Jim Irsay's already come out and told his fans that there's a good chance that their games are going to get blacked out after 16 years or 14 years or whatever it is.
Man, you gotta stay true to your team. Andrew Luck's going to be a decent quarterback. You never know. That maybe they go 500. Maybe they go 8-8. You never know what's going to happen. That's why I love the NFL. Every year, you don't know what's going to happen. The Colts sucked last year because they didn't have a quarterback. Now you're getting a rookie quarterback. You're teaming him up with his Stanford tight end.
Yeah, that worked perfect for them.
Could be a decent little 1-2 combo. Reggie Wayne, his career would probably get a little resurrected, having a stable quarterback.
Well, that's actually one of the things I wanted to bring up was one of the other bold predictions was Andrew Luck will revive Reggie Wayne's career similar to how Cam did for Steve Smith.
Yep, I could see that.
I definitely can see that too because Reggie Wayne to me is a professional. He's the guy that's going to go out there and help Luck be like, look, this is how I run this route. Okay? What do you like? What do you dislike? And Reggie Wayne, to me, doesn't come across like the kind of guy that's going to look at him and be like, I'm not changing anything for you. You're a freaking rookie.
No, I think that's why he stayed there.
Yeah, I think Reggie Wayne's the kind of guy that's going to be like, look, this is how I do it.
This is how you're going to do it to me.
Exactly. Let's what can we make a little adjustment to so that me and you are on the same page? I actually agree. Do I think that Luck's going to have the type of year Cam had? No.
That ain't happening. I'm sorry. I was going to just say I think Cam only had the season that he had because there's no offseason or anything. So nobody knew how to really prepare for him or anything like that. And then that's why the first 2-3 weeks of the year, he had like 1,500 yards, 1,200 yards in the first 3 weeks.
Literally, almost 1,200 yards. He went
back-to-back 400-yard games.
Yeah, he was like four something, and then it was like 360. Like, it's not even like he took a dramatic drop.
It was just
like, I just threw for 360 in my third game.
If Cam Newton can put up similar numbers that he did last year, it'll be a successful year. But Luck is not going to have the same amount of luck that Cam Newton had last year. But being that they are in the AFC South, is it the South?
Yes.
South.
Yes.
It's a little bit of a weak division with Jacksonville, with Tennessee. Obviously, Houston is the favorite. But that's why I think they could be 500 because Tennessee's not that great. Jacksonville
I actually
sucks.
think Tennessee's going to be that sleeper team that gets into the playoffs.
They could be. It all depends on CJ. Does Hasselbeck beat out Locker? Because if Locker starts, I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing for Tennessee. If you give him a full year, it's basically just putting Andrew Luck out there because he really didn't play. He showed you a little glimpse when he did play that he can play a little bit, but I just don't see the AFC South being anything tough. That's why the Colts could be 8-8.
Yeah, I don't see that. I'll give you. I could see them winning division games. I definitely could, and not to mention, let's be honest, even when the Giants lost to the Redskins twice last year. Okay. Division games are always harder. There's nothing you can do about it as a fan. You just have to wait and hope that your team comes out on top. But division games are always the hardest, no matter how different the talent level is. The Bills beat the Patriots to reach 6-1 or 5-1
Didn't
last
even make
year,
the playoffs.
and then lose 7 in a row the games after. So it's just because you're the best or worst team in your division means nothing towards winning and losing a division game. Pixel actually writes in the chat room that half of Peyton Manning's NFL games have always been played under a dome. Do we think that he will quickly adjust to playing in a mile-high stadium, or will he be winded most of the time? I actually think it's going to take a little time, but that little time of adjusting to where he is playing, that's what the OTAs are for, the mini camps, the training camp. That's what all that's for. He's going to be doing 2-a-days
up in Denver.
Okay?
Yeah,
He's
be all
going
right.
to get an opportunity to adjust. Now, how well in a 3-hour, 60-minute of playtime football game compared to preseason and things that aren't at the same intensity level,
correct.
How is that going to affect him? I don't know. I think that it might take a couple home games. But when I say that, I think he'll still throw for over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns and, no picks or a pick. By the end of the season, though, I think you're going to see Peyton Manning getting back to what we all think he's going to be. Or, worst case scenario, he ends up really in a bad situation and that nerve damage is worse than people thought it was, which I really hope doesn't happen. But it is a possibility and you have to know it is. So Bills making the playoffs, we mentioned that. I think there's a good chance of it, but if they don't, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, to me, the next bold prediction was the big one, was the big cojones, was the one that I'm hoping people out there listening are willing to call in and make a comment over. 201-430-2119. Mark Sanchez will get benched this year. But it won't be for Tim Tebow to replace him at quarterback. This bold prediction is Greg McElroy will replace Sanchez and not Tebow, because Tebow will do fine in his role as everything that he's doing.
That is such a bold.
But he's saying
that is beyond
that's
bold.
That's a ballsy statement.
That's a ballsy prediction, bro.
Yeah. Even Christina puts it.
That ain't
I can't
happening.
Repeat the first part of what she wrote, but no, he won't.
You can say STFU. STFU, Dave.
Yeah, STFU.
No,
fair enough. I guess I could have just read the letters. But, yeah, he put this, man, and I'm reading through his little reasoning on why this is going to happen, and he's all about,
There's no way,
this guy's a good quarterback, good pocket guy, blah, 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 blah. Look, I've made my opinion on Sanchez well known numerous times. The man has gotten consistently better every year he's been in the NFL, while the rest of the players on the Jets have gotten consistently worse. Don't blame him for the lack of no right side to your offensive line. Don't blame him for the fact that Sean Green did not turn into the starting beast that people wanted him to be. Don't blame him for the fact that they can't find reliable wide receivers to stay on the team. And don't blame him for the fact that the Jets have no pass rusher. It's not his fault. Now, is it his fault he throws stupid picks in bad moments? Yes. Yep. Is it his fault that he fumbles snaps or tries to make more out of a play when sometimes the best option is just to take the sack or to throw it out of bounds? Yes, that's the stuff you blame him for. But you know what? Stats-wise, yards, completion percentage, touchdown to interception ratio, all have gotten better since he came into the league. Every single stat has gotten better since he's entered the league.
Yep.
So don't blame him on the fact that the Jets didn't make it. It's not his fault. Like me and Joey have mentioned it numerous times, going all the way back to when we started this show and had to watch it really happen and react to it. Not Sanchez's fault. The Jets defense let Victor Cruz go 99 yards for a touchdown. Not his fault. Okay? Just like I think that how much people talk about throwing him to the bench is ridiculous, in my opinion. I'm a Romo fan. And even I don't say bench Romo. And Sanchez, to me, is just a young version of Romo.
I
think he'll be better than Romo, in my opinion.
No,
I think he'll turn into
Romo
it.
is such a very good regular season quarterback, dude. Sanchez is not going to put up 35 and 15, dude. That ain't gonna happen.
Well, I don't think he will with Sperano as the offensive coordinator, but if you put him in a pass-happy offense...
He's not gonna succeed in a pass-happy offense, I think.
Not right now.
What do you think last year was for the Jets?
Yeah, that's true.
And
it was a pass-happy offense.
It was more pass-friendly.
8-8.
Yeah, exactly. Granted, like you just said, though, everything, Sean Green didn't turn out to be what it was. The offensive line was terrible. That's why I like football, because you can't succeed without a team effort.
Yeah. Even though everything falls on this quarter, like...
Everything falls on the
Manning is the
head.
greatest Giants quarterback ever, but if he didn't have the pass rush he has on the other side of the ball,
it'd be different.
The Giants probably wouldn't even make the playoffs the 2 times they won the Super Bowl. Sorry, they probably really wouldn't.
I can't say that. Only because, especially last season, only because the Giants' defense was ranked like last year. So...
The Giants' defense was bottom half of the league. That run offense was dead last.
Eli Manning was a huge reason why they made the playoffs, because of all the fourth quarter comebacks. And then once they made the playoffs, the pass rush was extremely effective, and so on and so forth.
You know, that's actually true. That defense was not there for them for the majority of the season until that final, 2-3 games of the regular season, and then that playoff push. So I really think I think that bold prediction was so far out of the spectrum, it's not even funny. But I had to read it just because I thought that was unbelievable that guy was thinking of that.